This episode of the weekendchannel.tv and positivepower.org is brought to you by our community supporter, Charmel K. Ward. Charmel owns Ward Traveling Notary Public, offering mobile notary services throughout the metro and surrounding Maryland, North Carolina, Georgia, and New York counties. She provides dependable notarial support for individuals, families, and organizations. As Star the Love Officiant, Charmel provides officiating services for weddings, elopements, and vow renewals, conducted with dignity and care across multiple states. For more details, her service information is available on Instagram and the websites and phone numbers listed. Charmel K. Ward, supporting community, connection, and care through trusted notary and officiant services.
Hey family, this is Paula G, where we are juggling the journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents God has given us. I am your host, Paula G, and I welcome each and every one of you, my journey embracers, to the show. If this is your first time, welcome. We appreciate you being with us, and we know that you will be encouraged and blessed today. Also want to thank our underwriters. Without our underwriters, we would not be able to provide this programming, so we appreciate them as well. And if you're looking to gain exposure for your business or product or service in front of a streaming audience, you can reach out to us, Paula at paulagvoice.com and jerryroycelive@gmail.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line. We'll be sure to follow up with you. Also, make sure you stay connected with me across all social media platforms. I try to make it easy. Paula G Voice. Paula G Voice across all social media platforms. And my website, of course, is paulagvoice.com. All right. Well, in this season of shows, we are coming from my book, Lady Wisdom Says, Paula's Perspective. And we've been kind of taking a journey through this book. And these are perspectives, inspirations, motivations, meditations, however you choose to use them. But they are compiled over a number of years. When I first started working in radio, and had a radio show, the Paula G Show, a while back, and I would always open or close the show with a Paula's perspective. And over the years, that has just grown, and it has grown to the point where I was able to not only do them in audio, you can go to the website and listen to them in audio, but also to put them in book form, which is what I've done here. So today I want to share with you from Lady Wisdom Says, do not give up on you. One thing I've learned, amongst other lessons, is to never give up on myself. I've had some dreams where I've prepared and prepared. I have waited and waited to no avail. Opportunities never came, or so I thought. I eventually tapered on my preparations. At some point down the road, the opportunity knocked. I then had to scramble to prepare to answer the door. Take it from me, never give up on yourself. The wisdom journey comes from lessons such as the one I have shared. And regardless of what it seems like or presently looks like, remaining prepared is not an option. It's necessary. There are times in our lives when we feel those opportunities should be beating down our door. We can't understand why we're not seeing results while others appear to be thriving in the very thing we are attempting to succeed in. Our season lies on the other side. We cannot give up on ourselves. I'm a woman of faith, and God never gives up on me. Who am I to give up on myself? We allow others to validate how we feel about ourselves. For instance, we may be influenced by those who criticize what it is that we do, which in turn causes self-doubt. We could second guess ourselves and our abilities rather than stand in confidence that we do what we do in excellence. Keep pressing forward, keep practicing, keep sharpening those skills because that opportunity is on its way. I'm reminded of the journey of the early inventors and how many times they either failed or were rejected before they found success in their inventions. how they had to overcome the naysayers. Imagine if they had given up. You may not be reading or listening to this if electricity had not been discovered or developed. The ability to audio record may not have been developed. While success appears to come overnight, in reality, it is a lengthy process. It's the behind the scenes work and sacrifice that we do not see, but please know that is where the development and the perfecting of the craft comes. Be encouraged and keep working at it. In this winter season of my life, doors have opened that I have been seeking and praying for since I was in my mid 20s. Don't sell yourself short. Hang in there. Your day is coming. When it seems as though nothing is happening, keep pushing forward. When it seems like no one is paying attention, keep pushing forward. When it seems like you are taking 2 steps backward and 4 steps forward, or 2 steps backwards, 4 steps backwards and 2 steps forward, keep pushing forward. It's all part of the process to get to the finish line. The rewards are satisfying and well deserved. Hang in there and embrace your journey. Now, question for you is, what dream or dreams have you given up on and why? Ask yourself. The lesson that I've learned that I'm sharing here is sometimes opportunity will knock long after you expect it. Be ready. And your challenge is to resurrect those deferred dreams and strategically pursue the possibilities. So, what prompted this particular perspective? As I stated in this particular perspective, there were opportunities that came about in which I found myself at times scrambling to take advantage of because there were dreams that I had had a long time ago, and I got discouraged because it seemed as though they were not going to manifest. And then I got distracted by things occurring in life. You know, this juggling, this journey called life. That journey of life became distracting with certain things that were occurring. We can all probably relate to that, the ebb and flow, the peaks and the valleys, the things that throw us off our game, that throw us off our goals, that throw us off of our plans. Those things kind of started swirling around and I got distracted and off course. And then lo and behold, one day I look up and the opportunity that I had prepared diligently before, way before, or maybe had maybe given up on that hope or given up on that dream, the opportunity was suddenly there at my doorstep. And fortunately, I was able to scramble and get myself together and take care of that and take advantage of the opportunity. But there was a lot of unnecessary stress had I stayed consistent in on that particular journey. You know, we hear so much about people who seem, as I mentioned in here, seem to have overnight success in something. You know, all of a sudden we see them in media and they are a star or they're prominent and we're like, oh wow, that didn't see that coming, didn't see that person, didn't know that person, and yet here they are. But the majority of the time, if not all the time, those things don't happen overnight. And you know what comes to mind is for some actors, and the one that comes to mind for me is Danny Glover, who years ago, um, that when we first really got to know him was in The Color Purple. But prior to that, he had been an actor for years, auditioning for years. And that particular role opened the door for him for other roles, Die Hard and some of the other roles that he became a part of. But all the years preceding that, his hard work, his diligence, his auditioning, um, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, paid off in that moment. What if he had given up on his own dreams? What if he had not been prepared? What if he was not continuing to hone his craft. He might have missed that opportunity. So I want to encourage you today that to not give up on those hopes and not give up on these dreams. This may not be your season or your moment for it, but it may be your season to continue to practice, to continue to sharpen those skills, to continue to learn, to continue to educate yourself on that particular thing that you desire to do. So I'm going to ask you again, what dream have you given up on and why? And I want you to think about that. We're going to go take a break. And when we come back from the break, I want you to think about that so we can kind of talk about that a little bit and see what needs to happen and what needs to change so that you can continue, pick up that dream where you left off and what needs to happen in order for you to do that. Because that opportunity will come. The question is, will you be ready? This is My Journey with Paula G. I'm your host, Paula G. We'll be back in a few moments. Hey family, this is Paula G, aka Lady Wisdom with Do Not Give Up on Yourself. As I continue this journey called life, and as I begin to gain more salt than pepper, I realize that each and every day that we wake up is an opportunity to do whatever it is God has called us to do, whatever it is that we have envisioned, that we desire to do. And we cannot give up on our dreams and we cannot give up on ourselves because it's a mindset. And as I always tell you, the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? I want you to stay connected with me, Paula G Voice, across all platforms. And remember to check out the weekend channel, Jerry Royce Live, Positive Power 21. Can you feel the power? Until next time, embrace the journey. Well, hey, family, welcome back to My Journey with Paula G, where we are juggling this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. I want you to stay connected across all platforms, Paula G Voice, and remember to hit those buttons, the like, the share, the subscribe, because all that stuff means something. Also, if you have a business product or service and you're looking to gain exposure in front of a worldwide audience, reach out to us at Paula G Voice, Paula at paulagvoice.com or jerryvoicelive@gmail.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line and we will be sure to follow up with you. We thank our underwriters so very much for supporting and helping to continue this journey as well. So before the break, we were talking about don't give up on you. And I was sharing from my book, Lady Wisdom Says, Paula's Perspective, the inspiration about not giving up on yourself. Some of you may be in a field such as myself, entertainment, where I do quite a lot of auditions for acting, for modeling, active older adult modeling, for voiceover. And, I recall I listened to a particular gentleman that gives a lot of information about voiceover. And I remember him saying that in the beginning, he was doing like maybe 200 auditions a week and sometimes maybe getting one um, audition or one client that was interested, and some weeks not getting any at all. And back in the early days, he was saying how discouraging it was because he was spending, most of his day doing these auditions back to back. And auditions take preparation because you receive the material, whether it's voiceover or whether it's acting, you receive the material, you have to review the material, and then whatever the requirements are, those are things that you have to do as well. So they do take a little time to do. Just one audition can take a little time to do. And then, sometimes you may not be in your home or in your home studio, so you may have to do them remotely. So it does take a little bit of work to do them. So imagine doing them out day after day, or doing several of them a day, or 10 of them a day, 15 of them a day, whatever it may be, that can get exhausting. It can get discouraging because you're doing these auditions with no guarantees. I had a gentleman on my show, and this is back in the early days when we were booking guests, and it was Charles D. Clark. And we've come to know Charles from the series Empire that was on some years ago. And I remember him sharing about how passionate he was about acting and how he would drive 12 hours for a 90-second audition with no guarantee that he would book the audition. But that's just how passionate he was about his acting. That's just how passionate he was about what it was that he desired and what it was that he hoped would occur. That's dedication. So what, and I'm not necessarily suggesting you have to drive 12 hours to achieve whatever it is that you're desiring to achieve, but what dream have you given up on and why? And what will it take for you to resurrect that dream? What will it take for you to get back in position for that particular dream? In this particular season, the auditions that I personally get, they come sporadically, but that kind of happens when you're in the acting field, that you can get a lot of auditions one day, you can get a booking, and it might be a minute before you get another booking. But in the meantime, you are continuing to work on your craft. In the meantime, you're continuing to practice. In the meantime, you're continuing to rehearse. So whatever it is that you are destined to do, or whatever it is that you desire to do, whatever the dream is that you have, what are you doing today to prepare yourself for that? I often give this example of someone who may want to open a bakery. Let's say they love to bake and they desire to open a bakery to share their baked goods with everyone. But perhaps they're in a season where they have a spouse, they have small children, they're working a full-time job, and they're not able to open that bakery right now. But there's something that can be done right now to prepare for that dream, as opposed to waiting until the season when you are able to open. Take a class on how to run a business management. Watch some videos on how to run a business, how to start a business, opening a business, what it is that you need to learn about opening a business. Sharpening your knowledge and gaining knowledge on what it takes to open a business, what it takes to maintain and sustain that business. That information, it may take some time over the course of time for you to develop that knowledge and to have that understanding. You want to open your business down the road, maybe going through the Chamber of Commerce in your community. Here in America, there's such a thing as a Chamber of Commerce, which helps people who are looking to start their own businesses and resources or so forth, or whatever may be in your community or culture that you utilize to foresee what's going to happen in your area in the next 5 years or the next 10 years. What does the development look like? And what might be a potentially good place to open your business, your bakery? Your family likes to eat. Your family loves to eat. Your family loves dessert. So you're baking all of these baked goods for family and friends and for gifts and so forth. You're developing your menu because you're baking all these goods for your family and friends, and they'll let you know what they like and what they don't like, what's popular, what's not popular. So you're doing all of these things over the course of time, over a number of years. Fast forward, before you know it, time has passed, years have passed, your children are grown. You and your spouse can now have more flexibility to do some of the things that you all desire to do. And guess what? You're in position now to open that bakery. And you've done all the preliminary work. You've made all the preparations over the years. So now you're in the position where you are ready to actually manifest that vision. You don't have to start from scratch and, well, I got to learn how to open the business. I got to find out what I need to do because you've done all of that over the course of time and you're prepared and you didn't give up on your dreams. So the manifestation of your dreams may not happen overnight. It may take some time. And I'm speaking to myself because I have to remind myself of this sometimes too. It may take some time. But in the meantime, the steps that you're taking to prepare yourself for the manifestation of that dream, don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on yourself. Even when it seems as though there's nothing working in your favor for whatever it is that you are desiring to do, stay focused. Keep that vision, keep that dream at the forefront of your mind. And especially now in this season, this will be another topic for another show. As you are approaching retirement, how are you preparing? And I'm speaking to my peers. How are you preparing for that retirement? Because that's a whole different culture there from what you were doing for the past 30 or 40 years. And now you find yourself in a different season where I don't have to get up every morning. I can sleep in. I can do what I want to do. But what is it that I want to do? We say, oh, yeah, we get to do what we want to do. But what is it that we want to do? And do we need to begin to prepare to look for manifesting something else that we desire to do in the next season of our life? That's another topic for another show. But I hope you've got something from this show. We've come to the end of our journey. Thank you all so much for joining us. I want to give a shout out to Jerry Voice Live Worldwide, Positive Power 21, the weekend channel. Make sure you check them out. A lot of wonderful, wonderful faith-based and encouraging programs. So make sure you check them out. Stay connected with me. Like, share, subscribe. Paula G Voice across all platforms, as well as my website, paulagvoice.com. Our underwriters, we thank you all so much for your underwriting support. Remember to reach out to us if you are interested in becoming an underwriter. And remember that the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? Until next time, embrace the journey. Hey family, this is Paula G Voice, aka Lady Wisdom, with the power of persistence. Oh my goodness, the power of persistence. We are celebrating our 200th episode of My Journey with Paula G. And that speaks to the power of persistence, continuing to do the very thing that God has called you to do, that God has gifted you to do, and doing it consistently. Shout out to our producer, Jerry Voice Live, Positive Power 21. Make sure you stay connected. Positive Power 21, the weekend channel TV. And this is where we juggle the journey called life while we're walking in our gifts and talents. Yay for 200. Embrace the journey.
Oh, sorry, Lord of heaven's armies. I look to you, I love your name. Don't let the floods overwhelm me, or the deep waters shallow me. The enemy comes in like a flood, he weighs me down, trying to break my heart. I'm exhausted from crying, help God rescue me from my enemy. Come red, take me, give me the strength to break free from the enemy. Help me break free. Rescue me from my see. Save me from those who hate me. Let me be the light to shine and break
family. This is Paula G, aka Lady Wisdom, host of My Journey with Paula G. And I just want to share with you all that we are so excited because our reach is expanding. We are now presently in the Brooklyn, New York area, the Atlanta, Georgia area, the DMV, and we are growing. So if you're looking for exposure for your business, product, or service, you can reach out to jerryvoicelive@gmail.com or Paula at paulagvoice.com. Put underwriting opportunities in the subject line, and we'll be sure to follow up with you as we all continue to spread love, spread the word, and encourage each and every one of you to juggle this journey called life while we're walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. Until next time, embrace the journey.